Marianne, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You've recently launched your own law firm, Legalite. Can you tell us about the journey of starting your legal career to your current position?
Yeah, sure. So I did my legal training at Deacon's, which is now Norton Rose Fulbright, and that was really good grounding for me. I rotated through a few commercial groups, and then I went on to a few in-house roles for a while, and I really enjoyed them, but I missed the variety of clients that you got in private practice. So I went on to MST Lawyers, and I was there for 3.5 years, and it was there that I really found my feet in franchising. And then I, in 2015, joined Marsh & Mar, who were just growing their franchising practice at the time, and that really exposed me to different aspects of franchising. And then finally I founded Legalite in January and sort of brought all that experience together. So Legalite's a smart law firm specialising in startups, small business and franchising.
Tell me a bit more about smart law firms.
Yeah, sure. So it's a term, I guess, that's bandied around a little bit lately. But essentially it's about doing things differently. So Legalite is the opposite of your traditional law firm model. So we don't have hourly rates, we don't have a bricks and mortar office as we're virtual. And it's also about embracing technology. So whilst I think a lot of firms these days do use technology, the legal industry in general does tend to fall behind. So it's really about leveraging technology for your clients' benefit.
You mentioned before that you found your feet in franchising. What was it about franchising that attracted you to go ahead and progress further?
Yeah, so I sort of just fell into it initially, but as time went on, I got quite comfortable with it, and I love working with business owners. And it's also an area it's quite diverse, so it overlaps with a lot of different areas of law, like leasing and intellectual property and employment law and commercial law. So I enjoy that variety.
And going from, I suppose, in-house to private practice, were there major differences for you?
Yeah, they're very different. So in-house, you're really working for, I suppose, the one client. And there's a little bit more involvement in commercial decision making and risk management. There's not so much an emphasis on business development or marketing, whereas in private practice, obviously you're working for a variety of clients, and there is that business development and marketing, and I personally enjoyed that aspect of it. So that's why I went back to private practice.
Speaking of business development, you've built yourself up in franchising law. How have you done it, and what are some tips and advice you could give others to help build their personal brand?
Yeah, so really I've just gotten involved in the industry and in that area of law. So I'm on the Women in Franchising Committee of the Franchise Council, and we organise networking and educational events. I've presented workshops, I write a lot of articles, I'm pretty active on social media. So really I would suggest to people to do the same, just get involved.
How important do you think social media is for, I suppose, Legalite and also for a lawyer working within a firm?
I think it's pretty important these days. I know myself as a customer, I tend to see whether a business has got that social media backing before sort of engaging with them or, giving them my custom. So I'm trying to focus on it quite a bit with Legalite and, make sure there's that consistency as well. But having said that, I don't think it's necessarily a sales funnel in itself, but it's good to have there and have that sort of foundation.
Do you find your clients check you out on all platforms, or is there a specific one that they go to?
I think maybe in the legal industry they tend to just look at the website, but I'm now specialising in startups and small business, and I know that they do tend to look at social media quite a bit. So it's the different areas of practice, I think, look at different social media avenues.
Is it hard to upskill, or have you found it difficult to upskill and keep on top of those platforms?
Yeah, look, it hasn't been so hard. There are things that I'm, learning, but I think as a lawyer, you're always learning. But like I said, because franchising does overlap into those other areas anyway, and I have had experience in general commercial law, I do have a good grounding there, and there's lots available for lawyers in terms of professional development, so CPDs and research tools online. So it's as long as you're upskilling, I think it's okay to expand. Yeah.
And you've worked from, I suppose, a top tier firm and also for a boutique firm. For you, what were the differences between both top tier and boutique?
Yeah, so again, very different. A top tier firm, I would say, is like a well-oiled machine. They've got policies and processes in place for absolutely everything. They're very well resourced. They've got a role for everything as well, from a precedence lawyer to a mail room. Whereas going to a smaller firm, I quickly learned that I'd have to do my own binding and sometimes even posted my own mail. But I guess at a smaller firm as well, there's more opportunity to be involved in different aspects of the business, like marketing, a little bit of decision making as well. And I think that sort of made me a more well-rounded person and lawyer.
Going back to, I suppose, Legalite, why did you decide to go with a fixed fee model?
Look, I think there's a lot of benefits to a fixed pricing model. I personally think hourly rates are inefficient and ironically time wasters. I mean, the time it takes to record your time and to re-estimate when something's taken longer than you thought it would. And I don't think clients should be penalised for something taking longer or for things like internal collaboration or research. So with a fixed pricing model, the client knows what they're getting from the outset and what they're paying for, and there's no bill shock.
Yeah, I suppose the biggest thing for clients is the bill shock at the end.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I guess this way, there's less, if any, arguments about pricing when the bill arrives. So, yeah.
Definitely. And you've moved from, I suppose, lawyer to senior associate.
Yeah.
How have you done it? And what's some advice you would give to other lawyers wanting to take that career progression?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said before, get involved in the industry, but also just give it a go, put your hand up for different opportunities. I think females in particular, we tend to wait till we're 100% ready before giving something a go. But really, what's the worst that could happen? So I sort of live by the approach of giving it a go. And there's a quote by Richard Branson that I love that says, if you're given an opportunity, just say yes now and then learn how to do it later.
I definitely agree with that. That's good advice. Marianne, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thanks.